बिस्मिल्लाह हमारी तरफ से एक प्यार भरा नमस्ते
नमस्कार
वनकम
नमस्कार
खुशामदीद
सलामकुम
सत श्री अकाल
మీకందరికీ వందనము
जय स्वामी नारायण
जय श्री कृष्ण
जय जिनेंद्र
मैं इस्माइली भाई बंधुओं को बोल दे या अली मदद
बोला अली मदद बोलते हुए सारी फीजिए मतलब बोलेगा ईसा बोला बंदजन हम आ गए हैं आपके प्यारे महिमा के द्वारा मैं से फालतू बाबा
एंड ऑफ कोर्स माई सेल्फ फालतू रानी लेकर आपके लिए एक और ड्राइव टाइम That's going to be totally exciting and totally मस्तानी बन जानी.
And right now, quick look at what's happening in the roads. Banjarasте ka haal total saste mein.
It's time for the Bandu Traffic Update. Call us from wherever you are at 408-912-2479.
Well, Banjan, the road situation is pretty much the same as what it was, COVID times. But Banjan, I think people are really taking it very seriously in terms of, well, there is no sheltering in place order as such, but there's masking in every place is what's order right now, Banjan. But again, the traffic are looking pretty light on the freeways. Many people actually were choosing to work from home. Schools, I think people are opting to stay at home as opposed to send the kids out there, though the schools are open. So a new way of learning, I suppose, for our children. A report just came in right now for about kind of a traffic hazard on whatever northbound of the Marsh Road in Menlo Park. The third lane to the left is affected, but I just see a sign there. Well, okay, yeah, the exit actually is kind of backed up over there. So watch out for that, drive very carefully. But probably people getting off of the 84 will experience some traffic there, otherwise it's pretty much the same. Traffic has also reported one of the Treasure Islands area on the 80 eastbound bridge, Banajan. So watch out for that particular congestion. Probably it might grow up to a bottleneck over there. In San Francisco, there actually is a little bit of traffic in different parts of San Francisco, especially the Market Street. Generally always is the case, but no incidents as such over there as an accident or a vehicle standing over there, Banajan. So definitely, otherwise I would definitely say that the traffic is light. So if you want to go somewhere, probably you can go somewhere because even the weather is perfect and bright. You know what? I would suggest, if you want to step out today, step out. Layer up for sure. It's not too cold, but still is cold, like 50s, mid 50s, 60s, Banajan. And towards evening, probably afternoon, you'll have some clouds in the air. So it's always good to be layered up, I would suggest. And that was your traffic update. So it's now time for us to go jump into the news updates for our Falturani. Falturani, what's happening? And let's welcome everybody on Facebook. Good morning, Vishalji. Good morning, Faisal Saab. Assalamu alaikum to you too. And yes, we're going to jump into our news updates for you guys as to what's happening in America, around us also for the matter, the local and the national news. We always take a break in between and come back with the world news and what's happening in India. Yes, you must have read about this, you might have heard from your neighbors, or WhatsApp will be spreading a lot of things saying that there was conspiracy in the assassination of Narendra Modi ji when he went to Punjab. So all those things are going to be coming up and we'll talk all about that. But right now, a quick look at what's happening in the news. Faltuni, take it away.
Well, happy birthday,
Thank
Oreo.
You. Oh.
Oreo, that's right, Banajan. It is the 110th birthday of the Oreo cookies.
What?
So, what better than getting your Oreo cookies and dunking it in nice warm milk and eating it? I don't like it just by itself, but I'm dunking it in.
Well,
anyway,
I've noticed one thing. Oreo cookies nowadays, did you know there actually is a knockoff also?
What?
There are many knockoffs coming up right now. I thought they had the patent, right? 110 years. Did they open the patent up?
I didn't know about the patent.
Oh man, many people are making those black cookies. I don't know what they make the black color with. It's like, Oreo's signature thing is a black thing, right?
I think so, yeah.
I don't know why they came up with one more, with the regular tan color. I don't know why they did that. I still like the Oreo cookies. I remember those days when Oreo cookies, the layer was thick. Nowadays they made it very thin.
Really?
Yeah, the knockoffs are really bad, but the knockoffs actually, they claim to be cheaper, right?
Well, either way, I like the thicker ones to dunk in milk. I don't know. It's like...
Yeah, I know. I hear you, Faltoni. I'm with you on this.
Right.
So, but what else is happening? Come on, continue.
Well, I'm just kicking it off with that, but let's tell you really quickly, Argentina is roasting in a record-setting heat wave this week actually. Senator the Rand Paul is under a lot of heat. And by whom? By Anthony Fauci, because Anthony Fauci is saying that Senator Rand Paul is driving violent threats against him.
Against whom? Against Anthony Fauci?
Yeah.
Probably. And Rand always keeps ranting about things.
Yes. Dr. Anthony Fauci, the top U.S. infectious disease official, accused Republican Senator Rand Paul of spreading misinformation that has sparked threats of violence against him and his family while distracting the public from the the fight against COVID-19 pandemic. In fact, Fauci went on to defend the Biden administration's response to the coronavirus pandemic during a contentious Senate hearing yesterday as scrutiny grows over a spike in hospitalizations, testing challenges, and frustration over messaging. In separate comments, the nation's leading infectious disease expert said the highly transmissible Omicron variant will likely find just about everybody, but those who have been vaccinated and boosted will do reasonably well. According to the most recent data from the CDC, at least 1 in 5 eligible Americans, or roughly 65 million people, are not vaccinated against COVID-19. Fauci's comments follow a dire prediction from the World Health Organization that more than half of Europe could catch COVID-19 in 2 months. Speaking of the Senate, I don't know how many of you heard President Joe Biden's address in Atlanta yesterday, Banujan. He is calling on the Senate now to change filibuster rules after he's tired of being quiet on voting rights. During a speech in Atlanta yesterday, Biden voiced frustration that no Republicans have come around to support the legislation, suggesting that it was a break from past precedent when both parties rallied behind the issue. Changing the filibuster rules in the Senate, which requires a supermajority, that is about 60 votes to end debate, was a major focus of Biden's address. He said we should be able to protect democracy, protect voting rights by a simple majority, which is just 51 votes, which is if when Vice President Harris casts the tie-breaking vote. If the rules are not changed, voting rights bills he wants passed have no clear path forward. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has set a January 17 deadline for the Senate to vote on a rules change if Republicans continue to block actions preventing forward progress, is what he said. Also, in other news, the Biden administration has announced a new set of measures to keep schools open, including increasing access to COVID-19 tests as the highly contagious Omicron variant spreads rapidly throughout the United States. President Joe Biden also made a full-throated appeal for U.S. voting rights legislation that has been stalled in Congress, saying Democratic lawmakers ought to be rewriting Senate rules to overcome Republican opposition. And something that's come into the news for Banjan is the fact that campaign donations are now surging to candidates for U.S. election oversight roles. A report found in a sign of how former President Donald Trump's false claims of election fraud are raising the stakes in this year's November elections. And a panel of North Carolina judges upheld the state's new congressional map, rejecting claims from Democratic voters and advocacy groups that the redrawn district lines illegally favor Republicans. That's what they've been doing, gerrymandering, Banujan, and this is something that the Republicans have played with for a very, very long time, and they've been redrawing the district lines and district rules. In local news, let's tell you that Bay Area shoppers are beginning to see empty shelves all over again. Economists say it's a situation of people calling in sick with COVID and supply chain delays colliding. One East Bay shopper said that they were looking for milk, and even milk was very hard to find. Toilet paper, cleaning supplies, even medicines are gone.
Oh my God! In other words, if toilet paper is getting messed up, you know what's happening?
What's happening?
People actually are scared less.
Huh? What do you mean, scared less?
Dash less.
Oh.
It starts with the S, ends with the T.
Yeah.
And say hi in between.
Well, San Jose State economist Robert Chapman Wood, who specializes in strategic management, said that the supply problem can be blamed on the Omicron variant. Shoppers sifting through empty shelves are noticing the change and dealing with it because they've been through this before. In other local news, San Jose has approved the booster mandate for city workers and all city-owned properties. This will require attendees of all indoor events hosted by the city-owned venues show a proof of receiving a booster shot. That includes fans and workers at SAP Center for the San Jose Sharks games or concerts, as well as shows at the convention center and local theaters. Oakland restaurants are being forced to close due to COVID, crime, and high rent. Their food scene is getting hit again. Two popular restaurants that drew foodies to the city's uptown neighborhood announced that they're closing down for good. The owners of Brown Sugar Kitchen and Luca's Tap Room told NBC.
Oh, Luca's closing down?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I gotta go there, man.
NBC Bay Area.
This is a very good Cajun food, by the way.
A cascade of issues is forcing them to shut down, including COVID-19, crime, and the price of rent. And in some heartening news, yesterday we talked about how the Palo Alto School District was calling out to parents to help. Hundreds of parents have stepped forward.
Nice.
Nearly every school district in the Bay Area is now struggling to find enough healthy teachers during COVID-19 to fill its classrooms each day. But in Palo Alto, hundreds of people signed up to volunteer just after the school district pleaded for help. Nearly 700 parents have stepped up to help the Palo Alto Unified School District this week. Some parents said that they are ready to start, while others question the solution and suggest schools should return to virtual learning. Jen Wiener is a parent scheduled to start volunteering on Wednesday. She'll be directing traffic in hallways at a middle school. She thought it was a great idea that parents step in and start helping, especially when there is a huge shortage of even substitute teachers. I think it's time for us to be going into our beach mein Gane Ka Kida, or do you want us to do the world news, Alto Baba?
I can jump into the Gane Ka Kida. It's a nice song called Ye Hausla from the movie 83. But if you've not seen the movie, go watch it in theaters. I don't know if it's still there, but definitely to come in some kind of OTT platform. People talked about the fact that it was a flop, blah blah, and all this stuff. I don't know. The movie was made well. Kabir Khan, kudos to you. But they claim that the amount of money he spent, he only got a fraction of it back, and that Ranveer Singh was supposed to be doing something very, very unseen or ever historic thing where he was going to return some fees. I don't know what it was. But I don't know what happened. We'll talk more about that in the Pam Pam show probably. But this song is for you guys. And lyrics by Kausar Munir Bandhujan. Music, of course, you know the movie music directed by Pritham. This particular song, the voice sounds familiar? It is because KK. Banjan, बढ़ते रहेंगे ये हौसले. Keep it going, Banjan. We're almost there. Again, Omicron is here. I know that. You're wondering, oh my God, how long we're going to keep it going? Keep it going, yeah. Come on. That's what you're going to do, right? Like now, we're going to keep it going. Keep the news going for you guys. Faltwani, what's happening around the world? Please, take it away.
Well, Banjan, let's tell you that one news about Novak Djokovic, who actually is looking like he's going to be released from his quarantine hotel. is saying that human error was behind a mistake on his documents for entry to Australia that breached its strict laws on reporting recent travel as the government weighed whether to deport the player.
Heads are rolling.
Why heads are rolling?
He'll fire somebody who made the human error, right?
Well, that he could be saying that, but anyway, he's the one who's unvaccinated.
Why didn't he vaccinate himself?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Fair.
He's asked for a medical exemption.
Yeah.
But regardless, in the UK, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson is going to have to fight to defend his premiership after it was revealed of that bring your own booze party that he had at his official residence during the first coronavirus lockdown. He's going to have to defend himself today. Opposition lawmakers have called for him to resign, and some in his own Conservative Party have said that he should quit if it is found that he had broken strict laws his government brought in to prevent the spread of the virus. Russia is beginning to lay out its demands for security guarantees in Europe to NATO's 30 allies following intense talks with the United States in Geneva that showed the two sides have major differences to bridge. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un is calling for boosting the country's strategic military forces as he observed the test of a hypersonic missile, state media said, officially attending a missile launch for the first time in nearly 2 years. And as I mentioned before, Argentina is facing a historic heat wave with temperatures soaring over 40 degrees Celsius. I thought that's common in India, isn't it?
Is it?
Anyway, making the country for a while the hottest place on the planet, straining power grids and forcing residents to seek sanctuary in the shade is what they're saying. And in news from India, like Aldo pointed out, excuse me, in Punjab, they're saying, actually, Tripura Chief Minister Biplab Kumar Deb on Wednesday alleged that the Punjab government and the Congress party had hatched a conspiracy to liquidate Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Deb's comments made at a press conference echoed similar claims made by Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma. And Tripura Chief Minister said it was a well-planned conspiracy to engage Khalistani terrorists by Congress leaders to liquidate Prime Minister Narendra Modi, which came to light following a sting operation by the media. He said detailed reports of a threat to the life of the Prime Minister. No measures were taken to avoid the security breach, referring to an incident on January 5th when the Prime Minister's cavalcade was forced to halt because of demonstrators who blocked the Punjab highway he was traveling on to attend a political rally, is what they're saying. And India wants peaceful resolution of the border crisis with China, but is ready for all kinds of eventualities, says Army Chief General M.M. Naravane on Wednesday, stressing that the overall threat along the entire 3,488-kilometer line of actual control has by no means reduced despite partial troop disengagement in eastern Ladakh, is what he said. In terms of the COVID news, Banajan, apparently the Covaxin booster effectively neutralizes Omicron and Delta variants, according to an Emory University study in news that's coming out from India. That's pretty much what we have in terms of news from across the world and also right here in the Bay Area, Banajan. And if you are somebody who is a fan of this horror movie, right? Horror movies. Have you seen the Exorcist movie, Altibaba?
I have. Have you?
Yes. You know that house where that thing is filmed of The Exorcist? That is actually in Georgetown, in DC. No, in Maryland, actually.
Oh.
And there's one house which was the house in which Freddy Krueger haunted. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Elm
Remember
Street.
that?
I saw Elm Street the other day on in Marin County.
Yeah. So now this house is finally sold for $3 million.
$3 million. Who would want to go and stay in a place where you can get nightmares and everything? Probably they only go stay there during the day, and nighttime they're actually partying someplace.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I was just wondering who has the guts to buy that place. Guts, literally guts. Because he pulls your guts out. Yeah. And then, of course, actor Mark Wahlberg has launched a tequila, and he plans to make it #1. That's right. The A-list actor is the latest mega celebrity getting into the booze business.
Yeah.
So
you know who's the other person?
Who?
Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He has his own tequila.
Oh, nice. Well, either ways, for me, I'm happy with my Oreos and milk. So today is the 110th birthday of the first ever flavor of the Oreo cookie.
Yeah, please go buy it from your shop and go dunk it in the milk.
And warm milk is really nice. Well, that's all I have time for this morning on Good Morning Bay. Anything else you want to share, Alta Baba?
That's about it, Baldwani. I only had to share what you had to share. And of course, Banjan, right now it's time for me to share the Gani Akira with you guys. Again, a nice song, fun the movie, 83 Kabir Khan film. Kausar Mani's lyrics and Preetham's music along with KK's voice. Have a wonderful Wednesday.